Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to Daniels Waterfront, City of the Arts, one of Toronto's most significant mixed-use and master-planned communities. Today you'll hear some exciting announcements that mark another milestone in the evolution of arts, cultural, and innovation in this gateway to the city's East Bayfront neighborhood. My name is Martin Blake. I am Vice President of the Daniels Corporation, and I'm joined here today by members of our senior management team. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Mitchell Cohen, our President. Along with Tom Dutton, our Senior Vice President, at the back over there. And Jim Aird, our CFO, is also joining us today. Thanks, Jim. And we're not accomplishing this alone. I'd like to acknowledge WJ Properties, who is our development partner here at Daniels Waterfront, City of the Arts. Among our special guests, we also have the Honourable Adam Vaughan, Member of Parliament for Spadina-Fort York and Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister for Intergovernmental Affairs. Adam. The Honourable Han Dong, who is Member of Provincial Parliament for Trinity Spadina. Ann Sato, President of George Brown College. Luigi Ferrara, who is Dean of the Centre for Arts, Design and Information Technology at George Brown College. And Devika Prakash, who is a student at George Brown's School of Design's renowned Institute Without Borders. And we're all thrilled that you have joined us this morning as well, because we have some exciting news to announce. So Daniels Waterfront City of the Arts is the embodiment of its name. This is a neighborhood where arts plays a central role as social, cultural, and most importantly, an economic driver. Yes, City of the Arts was designed to foster the entrepreneurial spirit of creative people and organizations. And it's all becoming a thriving reality. So just to the west of us, out these windows right here, construction is well underway in the community. Excavation has begun on the north parcel of land where the residential condominium, Lighthouse Tower, is situated. We're also currently forming and pouring the concrete on the 6th floor of the office towers, 130 Queens Quay, which is on the south parcel of land. And we anticipate topping off in July of this year. We've already have several creative businesses and industry partners who are going to call 130 Queens Quay home, including Artscape, Colleges Ontario, OCAD University, and RBC. In addition, nonprofit organizations such as the Remix Project and Manifesto will relocate to the office to this be the hub of a pulsating community. The Daniels Corporation is also very excited to be moving our head office down to 130 Queens Quay. Talk about synergy in action. The opportunity to live, to work, learn, and to create has been so strong that we have had record sales at Lighthouse Tower. The continuing demand is so powerful that this spring we're going to go on sale with our second residential tower. Lighthouse East Tower will offer another exciting opportunity for people to call this extraordinary community home. One of the things that made City of the Arts so special is the academic element. From day one, we recognized that in order to foster sustainable careers in arts, which is a big part of the vision of this community, education, training, apprenticeships, and mentorship would be critical. We knew that academic partnerships would have a positive impact and provide tremendous value in this community and in serving the needs of the design, arts, and digital media sectors in the Ontario's economy. When we introduced Daniels Waterfront City of the Arts in March 2015, we mentioned we'd been in discussions with George Brown College to explore possibilities for new programs and students' pathways here. Since that time, we've had the privilege of working alongside Anne, Luigi Ferrari, and Adrian Galway and their inventive team, and I have to say it has been a true pleasure. George Brown College and the Daniels Corporation, in essence, are both city builders. We have shared values that include making Toronto a better place and for everyone to help live in communities that thrive well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today for some special announcements that take our public-private partnership with George Brown College to an entirely new level. And I'd like to welcome Ann Sato, President of George Brown College, to bring you this amazing news. Ann?
Thank you, Martin, and good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see so many George Brown staff, partners, and friends here to celebrate today's announcement. In particular, I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Adam Vaughan and Han Dong, who are great partners with us, and for them to take the time to be here today is very special to me. Throughout its history, George Brown College has been woven into the fabric of downtown Toronto. We're passionate about the role that we play in supporting our city, not only by preparing the highly skilled workers our economy needs, but by helping neighborhoods thrive and grow. Of course, if you've spent much time along the eastern portion of Toronto's waterfront lately, you've seen this growth firsthand. Nearly 5 years ago, George Brown opened our waterfront campus just down the street from here, bringing a dynamic student presence to Toronto's emerging East Bayfront community. This past fall, we infused another new neighborhood with student energy when we opened our first residence, the George, just east of the waterfront campus in Corktown. Now we're expanding once again as George Brown prepares to move into Daniels Waterfront City of the Arts in 2018. Throughout this expansion of our waterfront campus, our students, staff, and industry partners will gain access to more than 100,000 square feet of new learning and collaborative spaces. I'm delighted to say that Daniels Waterfront City of the Arts will house part of the School of Design, which teaches creative people to apply their skills in relevant, innovative, and career-focused ways. This area of the college has become well known for its holistic approach to design, which encompasses not only aesthetics, but also technical feasibility, business feasibility, and social purpose. The result? Well-rounded students who learn to innovate and problem solve alongside industry partners. When they graduate, they're armed with hands-on, real-world experience that they need to enter the labor market and fill critical skill shortages. Our School of Design is already making its mark. Just last year, we received a vote of confidence from one of the world's most influential companies when Google chose our St. James campus as the home of Canada's first YouTube creator space. Now, with the generous support of the federal government, we'll be launching a new initiative that brings together design students, staff, and industry at Daniels Waterfront City of the Arts. Our Innovation Exchange will be a research, innovation, and training center focused on design solutions for the smart economy. It will provide students with hands-on experience and specialized skills while giving industry partners the research and innovation support they need to scale up and commercialize new products and services. You'll hear more about this from Luigi Ferrara, our Dean of the Center for Arts Design and Information Technology, in just a few minutes. The launch of the Innovation Exchange is supported by a $15.6 million investment from the federal government's Post-Secondary Institutions Strategic Investment Fund, which aims to enhance and modernize research facilities on Canadian campuses. It's a testament to our government's commitment to making Canada a global centre for innovation and to the vital role our post-secondary institutions must play in the process. On behalf of George Brown College, I wish to thank and commend the federal government both on its tremendous vision in creating the Strategic Investment Fund and its efficiency in deploying the program so quickly. With this support, we'll be able to provide more students with the innovation literacy skills they require while helping the economy prosper through the digital age. In addition to the Innovation Exchange, our new space at Daniels Waterfront City of the Arts will house George Brown's globally recognized think tank, the Institute Without Boundaries. Founded in consultation with Bruce Mao in 2003, the IWB works with partners across the city and around the world to develop innovative local solutions to 21st century global challenges. As we look forward to fostering many new industry partnerships at the future home of our Innovation Exchange and Institute Without Boundaries, I'd like to acknowledge the ongoing collaborations with Daniels that helped make this possible. In fact, this project is the third partnership between George Brown College and Daniels, driven by the ongoing effort to create new, innovative learning spaces for students that help local communities prosper. It seems that every time we work together, our projects grow in scope and impact, and we couldn't be more pleased about that. It all started with the Paintbox Bistro in the Daniels Spectrum, a cafe and catering company staffed by Regent Park residents who received basic training at George Brown's chef school. Next was the Fashion Exchange, a collaborative fashion hub designed to improve employment opportunities for immigrants and youth in Regent Park while providing manufacturing expertise to emerging designers and companies. And now we look forward to becoming part of the vibrant mixed-use community being built right here. This is truly an inspiring project, and we're very proud to be part of it. As George Brown continues to evolve to meet the needs of our city, we anticipate even more growth at our waterfront campus in the years ahead. City Council recently approved the sale of Block 3, the parcel of land just north of our Daphne Cockrell Centre for Health Sciences, as a future George Brown location. We're still in the exploration and planning phases, but we hope to have more detailed news to share soon. In the meantime, I'd like to thank the many people and organizations who have helped make this project possible. Thank you to the federal government for its generous support of the Innovation Exchange, the provincial government for facilitating the flow of funding to George Brown College, Daniels Corporation for your ongoing partnership, Luigi Ferrara and the team at the Centre for Arts, Design and Information Technology for their project leadership. And I could go on, but I'll just mention those as the key ones. And it's now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Adam Vaughan. As you've heard, he's the Member of Parliament for Spadina-Fort York and Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister for Intergovernmental Affairs. A prominent former journalist, he was twice elected to Toronto City Council, where he played a key role in reforming the city's planning process and revitalizing public housing, before voters sent him to Ottawa to represent urban issues in Parliament. Please join me in welcoming NP Adam Vaughan.
Thanks very much for the kind introduction. I'd like to begin by acknowledging we're on the traditional territories, the treaty territories of the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and on the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and the Wendat before them. And it is appropriate not only to acknowledge these people who have been the caretakers of this land for a long time, but they also use this part of the world in a way that we now have been taught to use it, which is to welcome people and to gather people and to share with people wisdom and healing, but also education and a vision for the next 7 generations forward. We can learn a lot from partnership and the partnerships that those communities imprinted on this land continues to inform us as we move forward, and this is in fact one of those partnerships. It's a partnership not only between the federal government, the provincial government, and of course the school system, and in particular George Brown College, but it's also a series of partnerships between the private sector and the public sector, between the city and the federal government in particular on city building. It's a series of partnerships about how we build a stronger set of communities so that we have a stronger country. The infrastructure program that the government has put together up in Ottawa is $187 billion strong, and it's supposed to roll out over this country over the next few decades. But it breaks down to 3 distinct funding pools. There's a pool for green infrastructure, for climate change, which has happened, and we have to adapt and figure out how to live in an environment that is rapidly changing as a result of our behavior. There's a third amount, which is effectively for transportation, most focused on transit, but also on making sure our trade borders remain open, but also that the people can get to school, to home, to work, to play in a way that is environmentally sustainable but also affordable. And it's critical as we talk and think about how we develop the waterfront. The last piece is the piece I'm proudest for. It's the social infrastructure, and it's where the funding for this project comes from. And when we announced it, there were a lot of concerns that it wasn't just housing. You don't just build housing. You house people. And to house people, you don't just build housing, you build communities. And George Brown College has been working on this, as other post-secondary institutions in the city have been working on this, on how to build stronger and better communities. And part of what you invest into that is, yes, affordability for people who want to live down here. Sustaining the economic diversity of Toronto is as critical as the cultural diversity of the city. If there aren't people to work in the cafes, if there aren't places for students to live close to school, if there aren't places for workers to live close to business, if there aren't businesses to work at and schools to go to in neighborhoods, you put extraordinary pressure on the transportation system, which puts extraordinary pressure on our ability to manage and deal with climate change. And so the Social Infrastructure Fund builds neighborhoods with housing, with universities, with work. And that's the goal. And it breaks out into funding around post-secondary institutions as a very quick and an immediate down payment with the $2 billion that funds this particular project of $15.61 million. I got the money. I got the numbers right from the ministry. But it deals with issues like that. And you can see it starting to roll out across the city. Tomorrow we'll be at OCAD. In fact, we were there last week. The University of Toronto is benefiting from it, Centennial College, Seneca. But today we're talking about George Brown and the tremendous transformation it's being partnered with and driven down here on the waterfront. The transit down here, and I know this is a former city council, doesn't pay for itself until George Brown College arrives. Students use transit at a higher rate and a deeper rate and a more frequent rate than any other demographic in Toronto, in Ontario. When you put a university into a new neighborhood or a college into a new neighborhood, you put transit riders into that community, and their use of transit creates a stronger system that then the residential and the commercial developers and sectors are attracted to. Using universities and colleges to drive change in our cities is one of the smartest ways we can create smart people, but it's also one of the smartest ways to create a smart city. And that's why funding programs like this is so critically important to the federal government. We build better neighborhoods when we build with all the people in the neighborhoods, and students are a critical component of that. Universities and colleges are equally critical important to that, and that's what we're celebrating here today. So, to get back to the opening acknowledgements, one of the other things that's arrived on the waterfront as all of these businesses arrived is Cisco, which has an innovation center in a building just a little bit down the way. And I was up in the tower of Cisco, and I was talking to the Canadian CEO of the company, and I said, "Do you know what's happening down along Queens Quay?" And they said, "No, we're attracted here because it's a new building and we got to build new sites." And I said, "Well, you've got technology and innovation centers with OCAD and George Brown College arriving," and then I pointed to the building sites. And immediately their mind turned towards partnerships. But one of the partnerships that they are pursuing that needs the support of the students and the faculty and the ideas that the post-secondary institutions are bringing is distance learning for Aboriginal kids. The most sophisticated, far-reaching, and advanced distance learning program for Aboriginal youth, and particularly in the north with the Inuit, is headquartered at the Cisco building. Creating a synergy and a partnership around education on the waterfront delivers more than just education to the students that will be at George Brown College. It delivers the possibility of better education to the people we acknowledged right at the start of this presentation, the Aboriginal youth in this country who need our help. And so hopefully, in building a strong community here, one of the things we'll share are the advances, technological and educational and pedagogical, that are required to build and reconcile our 150 years of history, which we're celebrating this year. Hopefully this investment gets us to a much better 150 years to the future. And with George Brown College, a name associated with Confederation, being present here, it makes the whole thing one great project. So thank you for your leadership, thank you for your contribution, and let's get to work building this place. With that, I'd like to introduce my partner, Han Dong, the Member of Provincial Parliament for the same area.
Well, it's really hard to speak after Adam. He's such a great speaker. But I want to thank you for being such intelligent, effective representative of Spadina Fort York and taking the issues, the urban issues, to Ottawa. And please pass on my sincere gratitude to the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance for their focus on investing in post-secondary education. As a parliamentary assistant of a Minister Dan Matthews, Minister responsible for post-secondary education, I want to say to George Brown, you've done a fantastic job of finding that partnership with Daniels, and thanks to Daniels for seeing the importance of having this post-secondary institution, the center of innovation and creativity, right here as a centerpiece, one of the centerpieces for the community building. This year, it's very exciting for Ontario. We're rolling out the new OSAP program, which will provide additional access to especially mid and low-income family students. Because we know the future of Ontario depends on advanced labor force that has post-secondary education. And I was just touring OCAT with Premier this morning, just right before I came here, and we talked to a student who designed a prototype manual washing machine. It doesn't use electricity. And he told us that pre-ordering online has reached 1 million units already. And this is prototype, it's not even in production. And the facility they're going to need is going to house hundreds of employees, potential employees. My point is that when you have a center exchange for innovation, creativity, that actually create jobs and create better jobs, create better life. So thank you so much for this partnership. At the province, we're investing in people, we're investing in infrastructure, $160 billion in 12 years in infrastructure, including schools, hospitals. So this is a great partnership, and I'm always going to be here to support you, Ed. So yeah, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, honourable members of Parliament Adam Vaughan and Han Dong, for your kind words about George Brown and about this project. My name is Luigi Fryer. I'm the Dean of the Centre Arts, Design and Information Technologies. And I'd just like to take a second to acknowledge the great team at George Brown, starting from our leader, Ann Sado, the senior management team, my fellow deans, the staff, the administrative staff, faculty at the Centre for Arts, Design and Information Technology. Everyone works so hard at George Brown to create opportunities for our students and to give them a better future. And what this project is really about. The new School of Design and the Innovation Exchange facility that we're building in the Daniels City of the Arts project concretizes a vision that George Brown has been building over many years as a college. It's a college that's highly connected to industry. It's serving societal needs by preparing graduates who combine critical thinking skills and practical skills, the best of theory and practice. The School of Design at George Brown College has been strongly focused on creative collaboration required by the 21st century global economy. Across industries, there's a shift from engineering-driven to design-driven products, from product-centric to consumer-centric service models, and from marketing-focused to user experience-focused business models. And GBC School of Design has been a leader in the design and system thinking approach that's required by this new experience economy that we're living in the 21st century. It has been responding to trends such as mass customization, automation, augmented and virtual reality. If you get a chance later, experience the virtual reality model that we've developed of the future building. The Internet of Things, data visualization, simulation. These are all things that are disrupting such diverse sectors as healthcare, finance, media, construction, and manufacturing. The Innovation Exchange, which is located at the heart of this new building, we call it the Bean, will enable us to convene industry and plan for the future together, to partner in exciting applied research, to create new products and services, and to provide students and industry with access to leading-edge technology, showcasing what can be done with it. I want to thank Peter Lee, the chair of our foundation, because he believes strongly in this vision, so much so that he has kicked off our campaign with a substantial personal donation. This is going to make a difference to this vision that we're trying to build here with the Innovation Exchange and our new design school. The building will have 103,000 square feet. It'll be home to some 1,800 students and will expand on our current programming in game design, game development, game programming, interaction design, graphic design, interactive media management, and interdisciplinary design strategy. And it'll allow us to launch 2 new applied degrees in the area of digital experience design and branding strategy. At the heart of the building will be this Innovation Exchange and GBC's Institute Without Boundaries, a world-recognized think tank. And inside that, it's globally connected Future Ways of Living Lab, where industry, governments, and nonprofits can come together to better understand the innovations that are transforming society and the economy, that are changing industry, And together, industry and academia can work collaboratively in the innovation exchange to build a brighter future for the next generation. We use something we call a charrette methodology, which is a collaborative creative methodology to solve problems, because all the problems that we're facing in the world are best solved by us working together, not working in a divided way. We need the best of all our creative efforts to solve the problems that we're facing. We'll be able to pioneer new things, but we'll also be able to provide continuing education and to upgrade people's skills. God knows I need skills upgraded, and I'm sure all of us do as the world is changing so quickly. GBC will be partnering locally and internationally to bring innovative educational experiences, pathways, and articulations that will enable students to succeed. We're particularly excited to announce that our unique interdisciplinary design strategy graduate certificate program has developed a pathway to a master's degree through our partnership with the Institute for Art, Design and Technology in Dún Laoghaire in Ireland, with students able to achieve a master's in 3 semesters, 2 semesters at GBC and 1 in Ireland. This will train a new generation of highly skilled design thinkers to confront the environmental, social, and economic challenges that our society faces. I would like to call on a student in that program, Devika Prakash, to share her experience of the program and how it's helping her to prepare for her future.
Hi, and thanks for having me here. I'm a student at the Interdisciplinary Design Strategy program at the Institute Without Boundaries. And I have a background in development studies and water resource management. So coming from a non-design background, it was really interesting for me to come into the design field, and I knew that I wanted to study design so that I could use design thinking to refine the current work that I'm doing. Once I came into this program, I actually realized the value of collaboration and the importance that each discipline brings into the design process. And we have a team of 9 students, and we are all from different backgrounds. So we work together to create projects for the waterfront, and we're currently working with Waterfront Toronto. And it's really interesting to see how everybody has a different thing to contribute to the group. And when you're working directly with an industry partner, it gives you you understand how your ideas can be actually implemented in the real world and the viability of your ideas. And also, you see the quick prototyping and how your ideas actually come to life when you're working with industry partners. So it's really exciting for me to see that all these factors are going to come together under the same building and through this project. And I'm really excited for the future of the IWE program and the new students. And I'm hoping that we can work on a project in this new building as IWE alumni. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Devika. Students like you are certainly the reason that we are so excited about these announcements today. With George Brown College's substantial post-secondary presence here and the government's investment in the Post-Secondary Institutions Strategic Investment Fund, we are witnessing the next step forward, fulfilling our wide-reaching vision for this community. Thank you again for everyone who has joined us today, our partner representatives, the speakers, guests, and members of the media for joining us. I'd like to invite all the speakers to join me over here to the right for a photo opportunity. And also, all of the speakers will be available for one-on-one interviews as soon as this concludes. In the meantime, we invite all of you to mix, mingle, and sample some of the delicious refreshments that are being provided by George Brown alumni through the Edible Story. I'd also like to take a few moments to participate in the virtual reality demonstrations Luigi touched on, which are just over here to the right. Thank you very much for joining us today.